Hi, my name's Tenjin, and I'm here to run you through how to create a character in the new interface for Furcadia. If you haven't made an account yet, make sure you check out our Making an Account video, just so that you know and you're ready for this process. So, once you're there, we're ready to start.
Alright, after you've created your account, the download's automatically going to start for the installer. Once the installer is downloaded, open it up and you'll be taken to this screen here. This will just run you through a usual installer process. So once you've done that and you're ready to install, press install. Once the game's installed, you'll be taken to this final screen where you'll be able to choose whether you want to create a new character or choose from an existing character if you've just reinstalled the game or you already have an account. So choose the option you'd like, which in this case for us will be create a new character. And if you'd like to view the README, you can also tick that, and that'll open up both of those options. So once you've done that, press play. Now once you've done that, the character creator is going to open. Now the character creator opens in browser because Furcadia is going to be multi-platform, that is, it's going to work across web and mobile platforms. If we use the same process we used before, it wouldn't be able to work like that, so this is going to open up way more opportunities for us. If you want to go back later and edit your character, you can do this in-game by going to the C tab and then pressing this Edit My Fur button here. There's also a couple other options to get to the character creator to make a new character, just in case you miss that installer pop-up or you want to go back later. So I'll just run through those now. If you haven't already logged in, you'll have to open Furcadia and put in your login details, and then you'll be able to press this big old login button here. Now from this screen you'll see any of our current news. You'll also see how to create a character here, or if you have any existing characters, your characters will show up in this select character box here. At the moment, since it's your first character, you'll be able to press this big create a character text here, but if you already have characters, the way you'll create a new character is by pressing new here. So press one of those and it should take you to the character creation wizard. It opens in a browser now so that it's going to work across all devices. Check that the email address you've logged in with is correct, especially if multiple people play Furcadia on your computer or if you have multiple accounts. So just check that you're creating a character on the account you'd like to create it on. Your character is automatically going to generate a name from the email address, so this is also where you can name your character. You can use spaces and punctuation, you might be able to make a username. Here, the automatic name that's been generated from my throwaway email address is Dipodeprissi which isn't the best of names, but it isn't the worst of names. You can name yourself whatever you want as long as it isn't taken. Down here, description's automatically generated. You can press write it for me to get a generation of various different descriptions. This is just a starting point. You can use this description, you can edit this description the way you want it, or you can make one just completely your own. So just kind of use this as inspiration, I guess, or for fun. If you want to bold anything, there's this bold button here. You can italicize, you can underline, and if you wanted to, you can also use this button here to insert a URL. So a lot of people use that to link to like the different accounts on different things or whatever you want. The sky's the limit. You can also put in smileys. You can also use HTML for your description, and while it's really good to keep your description as short as possible so that people read the whole thing and don't feel spammed by it, you can also make your description as long as the old ini files were. This AFK settings here is where you can set what your away message will say if you're AFK in game. So you can set this to anything you want. Down the side, this will tell you how you can automatically show your original description in your AFK message. So say you just want to say, you know, how many hours you've been away and how many minutes and for what reason. And then also put your description in so that you don't have to type in a different description here every time. It'll just automatically grab it from what you already have. Same here, you can give a whisper response if you're away. And an auto message you can give to anyone that isn't in your pounce. So anyone you haven't got added as a friend, you can give them a specific message. So once you've set all that up, you can see here, this is called your portrait. This is how you're going to show up in game. When you have multiple portraits later on, you'll be able to change between which ones you want to use by clicking on this portrait here and selecting them from the options you have. And this is your butler. This is how you're going to look in the character create, and you can also download it. This here is your avatar. This is how you're going to show up in the actual game itself. So you can get a little preview of how you're looking currently. And here is how you can set how you appear gender-wise in game. So you've got 3 options. Here's how you select what species you're going to be in game. You have 11 default species options, which are free. Each one of them has 33 customization options, and that gives you pretty much like a limitless amount of freedom to start with. If you'd like to try out any species or wings, you can do this through the menu. Species or wings that you own will have a tick next to them, and ones that you don't own will not have a tick, but you can try them both on. Over here you can set the colours of every part of your avatar. So over here is your body settings. These ones are your hair, fur, markings and wings. And here are your clothing settings. So that's your vest, cape, braces, accent, so like necklaces and things like that, boots and trousers. So you can go through here and select them this way, or if you hover over your avatar, you can pick them that way. And if you have like a specific outfit you've sorted out, you don't know how you'd look, you can randomize the body. And same with the clothes, if you just want to randomize the clothes for inspiration. And you can see over here, everything over here changes too, so you can get an immediate preview of how everything's looking. The Character Creator is an awesome new feature because it not only saves the color appearance of your avatar, but it also saves your description, portraits, the standard of your character you've created, and anything else including your AFK settings. So you can easily jump between this stuff if different dreams require different stuff from you, just so you can make sure you're not breaking any rules or whatever. Over down here you have your costumery, and you can pick out previous costumes you've made if you've made any, which you may not have at this point. The first button is how you save a costume once you've edited one of them. The second button's how you make a new costume. The third button's how you rename a costume if you misspelled something or you want to change what one of them called. And the fourth button's how you delete one. I'll start from scratch on how you'd make a new one. So if we press new costume here, we'll call it, say, like Pikachu. From our options, if we picked rodent, then you can color your skin as you'd like it to be. And then once you're done with that, you can save the costume, and then you can pick from your costumes anything you'd like to go back to. You can also change the portraits. So if you have a matching portrait to a particular skin, this way you can jump easily between each one. So when you're going to different dreams, you can have an outfit that matches. You can also pick the standard of your costume. This is really good for when you're swapping between maps. You can make sure you're not breaking any of the rules. Once you're done creating your character, press the big play button in the bottom right hand corner to start adventuring. Now watch the Get Started in Furcadia video for more on starting out.